Tim.
Yeah.
I know we normally start the show with the whole "What's up, everybody?" Yeah. But something just doesn't feel right.
It doesn't.
Doesn't feel right, and I can't put my finger on it. But there's a space here that normally has something. And if I just had something to put there.
Uh-oh. Oh, God. Already I hate this.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Your champion is back. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the KindaFunny podcast. I'm your champ, Nick Scarpino, alongside the Czar of Nar, my dude, my fellow number 2 competitor, Snowbike
the
Mike.
finalists, bro. Look at you, man. 1 and 2, Andy.
1 and 2, Andy.
My fellow number 2
baby.
competitor.
1, 2.
1 and 2, and then way down the line,
Remember when
10th or
remember they were
11th
like,
or whatever.
"Oh, let's team up and play cornhole together." Yeah, y'all lost the lesson on that one. Y'all,
You were trying to skip that. You were trying to get it done. You were like, we're a half hour over right now.
I'm a team up with Kevin because I'm in first place.
I was trying to get out of it. I was trying
You
to.
just were done. And that voice you hear, of course, ladies and gentlemen, is the Nitro Rifle himself, Mr. Andy Cortez. Andy, how you doing?
I'm doing okay, Nick. I'm doing
Good.
all right. Yeah.
I would normally do your whole rigmarole, but if I'm being candid with you, you lost,
Dang.
and it was
Lost all
rough.
the titles.
Tim, you should have seen the way I dominated every other category.
Mm-hmm.
And then we get to cornhole, and Kevin's like, "Oh, so we should do teams then, like first place and fourth place versus second and third." And then Mike's eyes light up, and he's like, "Oh, Andy with Kevin, then me with Nick." And me and Kevin are winning anyway. And then Mike's like, "Let's go 3 more rounds. Let's go 3 more rounds. Let's go 6 more rounds." And then I watched them play Jenga, and at that point, all the sanctity of like the belt is gone. Nobody cares anymore. Mike and Nick are playing Jenga. We're like, who cares at this point? You know, like
Tim. Mike wanted to cut Jenga. He was like, "Let's cut Jenga." I was like, "No."
Really?
Don't let him lie to you, Tim. I
Instead
had a
of-
game plan.
I can
It was
show
supposed to be
videos.
4-player Jenga, and they all said, "Why would we do 4-player Jenga?"
Who
I
all
was like,
said that?
Okay.
Who all
everybody.
said that?
It's on the tape.
Who all
ladies
said
and
that?
Gentlemen.
Who
Because
said that?
it's how the finals supposed to go. 4-player Jenga. First person to knock it out, you're out. Then
Okay.
3-player
So you wanna
Jenga.
play
Elimination.
four
Then
games
2-player
of
Jenga.
Jenga.
That's
And
so
no,
much
Tim.
Jenga. It's too much Jenga.
They
Nobody
don't
wants
listen
that much
to me.
Jenga.
who
Well,
said
guess what?
who said no?
We got enough Jenga because you and I.
You and I, just the
Finalists.
perfect amount of Jenga. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, rounding out the quartet is second best baby blues in all of the world. Forbes 30 to 30, Mr. Tim Geddes. Tim, aren't you glad you missed all that
Oh,
magic?
man. I'm so that was a blast to watch that stream. Y'all having way too much fun. Little sleepover / summer camp / Shark Tales /
And pizza party.
Just
Yeah.
fun.
Pizza party / face
Oh
off.
yeah, G was like, "Oh, so what is this?" Because she like kept like tuning in just to see what's going on, and I
Shark
was like,
Week.
"Oh," and I tried explaining it. I was just, why is Mike in the shark costume? And I'm like, whatever. And she's like, "So what is it?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's this / this / pizza party." And she's like, "Oh, did you guys get pizza?" I was like, "No, we ended up getting wings."
We got pizza eventually.
We got pizza.
Okay,
We did get the pizza eventually.
I didn't get the pizza. She was like, that is what crossed the line for her. She's like, I get all of this. Like, you motherfuckers, if you're gonna have a pizza party, you need the pizza.
I think when
we
someone
got
asks
pizza.
you, we did eventually, but when next time Gia asks you, what is it? I want you to answer with, what isn't it?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, she
What
knows that part.
isn't it?
She knows that part.
Because it could be anything you want, ladies and gentlemen, just like this podcast. This is the KindaFunny podcast where each and every week 4, sometimes 5 best friends gather on this table, each bringing some fun topics for your amusement. Couple of housekeeping things before we get into the main shenanigans. This week's XCast is Mike sitting down one-on-one with IGN's very own Ryan McCaffrey to talk all things Xbox and look back on 10 years since the Xbox One console announcement. Right into kindafunny.com/Xbox with your thoughts on TV. Well, I don't know what that is. Favorite Xbox moments. That's probably gone by the time this is the Xbox is launched. But hey, everyone, check out that episode of Xbox. There you go. Thank you to our Patreon producers, Nathan Lamoth, James Hastings, and Casey Andrew. You guys are awesome. And also today we're brought to you by RTX and Rocket Money, but we'll get to that in just a little bit.
You should have seen what I did after I left. It was not my proudest moment.
Oh, I want to hear this.
We're at the end of my segment. Because I already told Nick and Mike, like, I don't got much in me, man. I'm so tired.
It's at
today.
8 o'clock. Don't call me.
Yeah, leave me alone. And we're nearing the end of my segment, which was we were all playing Elden Ring co-op for this birthday jamboree for Nick and Kevin. And
Mike and come.
Mike and Kevin, sorry. Mike's birthday was like 2-3 weeks ago, and Kevin's is coming up right now.
Yeah.
And we were playing Elden Ring, and by the end of it, I know they were saying that we're gonna order pizza. I was like, I don't know if I got time to wait around for pizza, but I might have enough time to order a pizza by myself because I want Pizza Hut because that's the crappy pizza I don't have enough of.
Pizza Hut's great.
Um,
You have to have Pizza Hut every year. Just remember you don't like Pizza Hut.
no, I love it. Here's the thing, like I like it's my Fast and Furious of pizzas. Like
Mhm.
all of the chain brands are my crappy action movie pizzas. You know, like I get a lot of people coming at me and they'll be like, Domino's is way better. It's like I love Domino's equally as well. I love Dom.
My nose.
I love Domino's. I love Papa John's. I love Pizza Hut. They're all equally like not great pizzas, but I still love them a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I ordered a medium thin crust, thin crispy, and it got here right as you all were transitioning to the final segment, which was a little watch party where you all watched Face Off
Face Off. We
with
did.
the chat.
He's gonna take his
It took
face?
us so long to
It's
get
yeah.
set
By
up.
the I mean, I got home, Kevin, about
figured it
40
out.
minutes later, and they were still like trying to set up the. It
turns
took a
out
while.
we did not know you can't cast to a TV while you're watching an Amazon Watch Party link. Did not realize you can't do that. I
Gotcha.
don't know why. That was
Gotcha.
weird. We figured it out.
Bummer.
So I'm waiting for my pizza to arrive. My pizza arrives, and first off, lady just opens the door. Like
She came to
delivery
your house?
driver
She
just
owns
opened the door.
house?
I
Here.
like that.
No,
for her.
here.
Oh, okay.
Just open the door here, and I was like, oh shit. And I look at Cool Greg. I was like, Cool Greg, I'm out. I grabbed a little Coke Zero, and I got the pizza from the lady, and she was like, oh, I was like, thank you. I'm leaving also, by the way. So I got the Coke Zero, got this thing for the road.
I'm
and I-
done too.
I ate this whole medium pizza.
On the ride home.
But like sitting down, I sat in the car for like 3 of the slices, ate the rest of them on the
Why don't you
drive
just
home.
Eat in here with us if you were
Should've
going to
watched the movie.
Watch the
Might have
movie
to
with
share
us.
with us.
Because I
We
just
didn't have
I needed some alone time.
Face Off was good.
It's
You
a good
would've
movie.
liked it. That was a really
No,
good
I've
movie.
seen Face Off.
Now, Cool Greg's not here today, but he does have an
never seen
assignment.
Face Off.
I don't want to go into it. Guys.
We have to. It was one of my favorite things that's ever happened here. Cool G coming in and out of it, right? Had a friend here, kind of funny best friend was coming. They're friends.
It
They're
was Sean
homies now.
Finnegan.
People thought it was Sean Finnegan.
Yeah.
it was not. It was not
Got
Sean
a lot of
Finnegan.
tweets.
Coming in and out of it, not really paying attention to what was going on with Face Off. Thought that Joan Allen was the main bad guy of Face Off. Now, if you're not familiar with Joan Allen, specifically in this movie, she's the wife of John Travolta who gets kidnapped at the end. But Cool Greg and I, he was so convinced that Joan Allen was the bad guy of Face Off. I started to doubt whether or not she was the bad guy of Face Off. He owes me a 1-page essay on what he thought Face Off was about.
My
'Cause I
brother-
think it was a
When an
completely
idea
different movie than
plants
what I
in
thought.
his head,
Yeah.
he
he's
just gets it.
It's it.
stuck on
But
it.
it's
Yeah.
also Nick was so upset about it. Where I was like, oh man, am I gonna have to like walk Nick off and be like, hey, let's calm down.
I wasn't upset about it.
Oh, you seemed like you were very frustrated.
No, I was just messing with him. I was just matching his energy. It was fun.
Yeah, my brother gets hyper fixated on the most like random things about. If there's graffiti in a movie, forget it. He's not looking at the plot. He's looking at all the graffiti, whatever. But he'll hyper fixate on random plot points that like I haven't been able to find a pattern of like what is it that he's going to latch onto here. I've told
Joan
a
Allen.
variation of the story before. I don't know on what show, but we watched this show last year that was on Hulu called Impeachment. That was the story of Bill Clinton and the whole
Monica Lewinsky
situation,
stuff.
right?
Yeah.
And like episode 1 or 2, we get introduced to a character that's not Monica Lewinsky. It's like the first woman that like did some things with Bill. And like I don't remember all the
Hillary.
details of this, but a blowjob happened. All right.
Beeger.
And a couple beegers. and like
Okay.
apparently like she like it was Bill Clinton, maybe not, but it wasn't exposed or whatever. So for the entire show, like this character was just like a one episode. She's there. She makes one appearance like way later, but like she's not the focus of the show. My brother was just obsessed with, hey, when's the blowjob girl coming back? And it was like,
Great question.
That was just part of the thing. And
I was like, that's just she's not coming back, whatever.
Yeah.
And also, like when we're talking about this story, there is a blowjob girl.
There is-
yeah.
And it is Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah,
It is not this random side character that like was totally just kind of set dressing essentially for like where the story's gonna go. And he watched every night with me and G because we binge watched it. And like he would be, he was like convinced. He's like, I'm telling you, she's gonna come back. And we're like, cool, Greg, this is a real story. Like we know how this goes. This isn't like, oh, there's gonna be a big twist in the end.
Yeah.
Like it's just so funny, man.
Pulling all the
It's
strings.
always
At one point, Joan Allen came on screen when she was trying to help Nicolas Cage. Just when he kind of convinces her that he's actually John Travolta with Nicolas Cage's face put on him.
Right.
And she just did the blood test to prove that it was him, and it's definitive proof that he's John Travolta and John Travolta is him. And Joan Allen starts crying, and she has a gun, and Nicolas Cage takes the gun away from her And Cool Greg screamed out, "Blaster!" And I look at Mike, and Mike just fucking loses. Because Mike's at this point.
It
like
depends
this.
on how much sauce Cool Greg is.
Yeah, yeah.
I
He also
mean,
yelled,
look.
"She's got the cannon." Which
Yeah, she's got the
kid. Yeah.
It was one of those. It was one of the few streams we've done in a while where everyone got a little bit loopy. We were all, things were happening here and there. Mike was doing the thing where Mike's eyes, he was like the old dog. The eyes were getting real low,
Oh,
and he
yeah.
kept scrunching down in his chair. And I was like, any second,
You
I'm
look
gonna
like
hear
that the
it.
whole day with the shark costume.
Yeah,
on.
it was
It was a long day. It was a long day.
The shark costume was legit. But man, what a fun day. I guess the moral of the story is this. If you want to beat Andy, you have to make it a marathon, not a sprint. Because Andy at one point beat himself.
You have to
He
do
just gave
everything
up.
you can to stop me.
We wore you down, bud.
You have
We
to
wore
change
down.
the rules. You have to introduce all sorts of wacky things, and that's what it takes.
These bad boys.
Well,
coming
we
home
have a
with me
new
now.
best video gamer in the building.
Nick Scarpino.
Best
Sure.
gamer.
best Jenga.
Best
Sure.
gamer in the company.
You're
Sure
right.
Mike gave up on that Jenga too. You see him pull that one, you're like, you don't wanna
Okay,
pull
well,
this
let's
shit
talk
anymore.
about that really
You don't
quick.
want to pull this shit anymore.
Big Jenga, it weighs an extra heft to it. It's hard to get the pieces out. Kevin Jellin, you can only use one hand.
Only-
I can't even get it
Tim,
out.
what are the rules of Jenga? Come on.
Nick, only a big man can win big Jenga. All right, and
He's
he's
the big man.
You're the
doing
one.
Bigger Jenga.
You're the one for the job.
So, Kev, you're asking me what are the rules of Jenga?
Yeah.
What, if you had to guess,
Okay. Rules of Jenga.
are you allowed
Or-
to touch the pieces beforehand? Are you allowed to use two hands? The answer is no to both.
No, yeah, it's one hand.
One
One
hand.
hand.
Well, it's big Jenga. Does that mean you can use two hands now?
No.
Mike,
think so.
It's
Mike was
big.
feeling up this whole Jenga board the whole time.
Yeah.
He-
But,
Mike would get
Yeah,
pieces
he
and
would
like
start shaking
poke
it.
them
He
and
would start shaking and pulling it out.
He
be
shook it like a
I
Jell-O
don't want-
mold.
I don't want that one. I don't want that one. And it's like eventually
Yeah.
we're like,
Yeah,
Mike,
yeah, I
that's
know that.
enough. That,
I
you don't
told
want
him
that.
take it on a date first before you're gonna touch it like that.
You
like
can't.
this guy, Mike was all over the board.
No.
And I was like, no, you have to just stick with the piece and
He
you
says
go
that's
with
how
it.
they do it in Tahoe.
The rules I've seen are the moment you touch a piece, that's your piece.
Yeah,
You're
It's like
required
chess.
to,
It's
to
like
get
chess.
Yeah.
Right? Opposite. Well, actually, it's the opposite of chess. You take your finger off the piece. You
As
can't
long
move
as-
it anymore,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
See, I play the woodpecker rules. Poke, poke.
no, he's testing all over the place.
Mike literally, he approaches the board, and it was hilarious. And in perfect Nick fashion, Mike goes first, and Mike starts poking at things. Would you believe how much shit I am talking to him? I'm like, Mike, you can't touch all these things. You're cheating. I'm calling fucking liar, liar, pants on fire all over the place, right?
called it.
Gets to my turn. I push one. I'm like, oh, got to touch a couple other ones. Got to figure this out. Because what Kevin packed them in, like
them
you
I didn't
pack
do
in a
shit.
pint of ice cream.
No,
it's just so tight in there.
You
Jenga.
can't. First of all, I was putting it together, and the first thing fucking Nick says is, "Are you gonna straighten that out, or is that how it's gonna be?"
Yeah.
Such an
And I'm like, yeah.
Well, you're not complaining both ways.
Well, no. So I'm like, "Hey, you want to fucking do it?" He's like, "No, obviously, I'm just kidding." Ha ha. Fucking guy's lying out of his ass.
No, because he packed him pretty tight, man. He packed him pretty
You
tight.
can't pack them tight or loose.
They're just they're packed where they are.
It's true because the big Jenga, it has some weight to it.
It's got some weight.
And it weighs itself in, and man, it just gets in
On
there.
top of that, I did purposely put it on top of the
Yeti cooler.
ice. Yeah, the cooler.
Which at first I was like, that's not cool, but it gave us a little wobble effect. And
Yeah.
I'm like, this is gonna
It
pay
made it-
off
it
in
made it
spades
fun,
when I
yeah.
win this belt. Kevin and I, we're sharing this belt. We're co-champions. I'm the main champion. You're like slightly
Out of
lesser
here,
champion.
fucking trash.
Over
Right?
here.
Get out of here.
This is us, Kevin.
You're the best
Nick.
gamer. I'm proud of you.
Nick, did you know that like did you not have issues with certain things, and one of them is like how long can you really do a standing ovation for?
I didn't know that was one of your things, but I'm glad we're talking about
Because
it.
I despise, and maybe like the first time I heard the news, it was one thing.
Mhm.
The first time you see like a little TikTok video about something, or like a news pops up on Twitter, and it says so and so director with this and this much of a standing O, right? When they debuted the movie at this whatever festival. And I think the first time I was maybe like, okay, that's ooh, wow, like a 4-minute standing ovation. That's interesting. But then I feel like every movie since then, they have felt the need to tell you that the director or the actor is getting a standing ovation. So Harrison Ford had a like 5-minute or 4-minute standing ovation.
Well, now here's the problem, Andy. I'm right there with you on this. Me and Roger had a very big breakdown about this when this was happening because the Canis Film Festival is happening right now. That's how you say it, right?
Yeah, Canis.
Canis?
Yeah, it's Canis.
Canis Major. Canis Minor.
And we started seeing these headlines come out about because the Indiana Jones reviews are hitting, and oh boy,
Yeah,
doesn't
not looking
sound
good. Yeah.
But first headline I see is Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford, all them, receives lukewarm 5-minute standing ovation.
Yeah.
The fact that they like
Put that qualifier on it.
that just alone, I was like, something's off here. Then we see a different headline that say rupturous 6-minute standing ovation. They were both in the same room talking about the same thing.
No,
So it's like we're getting some
who's
conflicting
timing these
information here from
standing
Variety and Deadline and Hollywood Reporter.
That's one of my problems, Mike.
Let's
First off.
start off first off. No one's timing a standing up.
Well, is that are
no
you
one's actually timing.
are you having to time it in order to put the article out there to generate hype? And also, in lukewarm, is that just a lot of people going like,
That is the funniest thing.
I guess
Like,
I don't know.
it sounds like it because they were cheering Harrison Ford's like
career.
they're cheering Harrison Ford.
Yeah,
They're apparently not cheering this movie, which makes me really sad.
they're not cheering the movie, right?
The wild part about O's, the big O, you know what I mean, is the waves, right? You do the first standing O, everybody feels it.
When
and
you
then you can
feel it
feel it
dying
start
out.
to die down. But then there's always one jabroni, woo, right, picks it back up. And then, I guess we're back again, you know what I mean?
You got to have
And
the
then
champions in the crowd to be the ones to kind of continue it. So to go along with that,
Yeah.
Martin Scorsese for his new movie,
Looks good.
Killers of the Flower Moon,
Yeah.
starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Leo D, who won't date a woman under the age of 24 or over the age of 24. Got a 6-minute standing ovation.
Better.
And, I didn't hear any lukewarm
I wonder
stuff.
what the qualifiers are.
But again, the first time I heard about this, cool, interesting news. Oh, good for that person. They're getting credit where credit's due. Again, Martin Scorsese, acclaimed director, Best Picture, The Departed, 2006, right? Like we've always making bangers and it's rarely misses, right? But again, for a 6-minute thing, I cannot imagine, like, count right now to 6 minutes and you will feel it after 45 seconds.
I feel like people are embellishing that. Because like you said, there's no way someone is doing 6 minutes of standing O in that room.
They are.
If it's like
They are.
45 seconds and someone's like, man, that felt like 3 minutes, I get it, right? But there's no way you are 6 minutes, people are standing and clapping.
That's a long
The clap
song.
starts being attributed to different people. That's what happens. Where it's like first it's Harrison Ford, but then it's the director, but then it's someone else. Then it goes back to Harrison. That's how you get to that 6 minutes. It's like everyone's kind of milking it, and then there's the moment where people are clapping because Harrison Ford's standing next to them, and then people start realizing like what's all going on. Yo, it actually is that drawn out. Like I've seen videos of it, and it blows.
People
my
need to
mind
get a
'cause
life.
I mean, this is what their life is. This is the one thing they're doing.
Get a
But I'm
life.
with you. We need rules and regulations for for the standing O, figuring out what it is. I want firm guidelines. They should use the KindaFunny scale, 1 to 5, of like about the quality of this ovation. But I feel like from now on, there's the Pepperoni Diplomacy Act. We just need to have a standing O act, right? We come up with something. What are the limitations? I'll give them
Minute
40
max.
seconds.
Minute
40
max.
60
seconds
seconds.
max.
Yep, 60
Because
seconds.
I'll tell you what, if at a minute and a half, I'm standing there, I'm looking to sit down, I'm looking to go back to my car to make sure that I beat the traffic. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds like a living nightmare to be a part of in that room. Go
I
ahead,
watch
Nick.
sports games. People can barely stand for 24 seconds.
Yeah.
During a shot clock. There's no way.
Or when they call the batter out from the dugout. A player has a great game or a pitcher throws a great game, or maybe it's one of these sort of lifetime achievement. Like we want to honor you because maybe we know you're retiring and you did really really good in your last game, and they call them back out. They call it the curtain call.
Yeah.
So the pitcher's maybe walking off the mound to thunderous applause, right? Thunderous applause, walking off, and he's doing the wave in, and he's like, doing the cap thing or whatever, and he goes in the dugout, and they keep on standing and cheering, and it's almost like a band coming out for their encore, and the pitcher stays in the dugout, keep on clapping, and then finally walks back out, does the cap, does the wave thing to everybody else, and that I feel like that happens for very, very large or really important careers in sports or in baseball. But in filmmaking, I feel like every other week I'm seeing some story about like, hey, the Black Adam, fucking Rock got a standing ovation, you know, or like, you know, it's enough. It's enough.
Well, this whole thing started. I mean, it didn't start, but I noticed it last year at the Canis, I don't know how you say it, film festival. With Brendan Fraser's The Whale. Remember, everyone's like, Brendan Fraser's
No,
back.
I think you can go further back than that, Nick. I remember a 7-minute stand, and this is the first time I remember hearing about it. It was Maverick. And you know what?
That's stands
Well
for Maverick.
deserved.
Was
Well,
that-
I
I'll
would stand
He
for
saved the
Maverick.
movie industry.
Was
Saved
that
the movie.
same year? Was that or those
That
Same
was
year,
the same
but-
year. but it
So
was
so
a
that's what I'm
couple
saying.
months.
So I remember
Or was it
that
the same-
year
same
was the
event,
year
right?
that something got a standing ovation, and then every day there was a new movie that was like, this one got a 6-minute standing ovation. The French can't stop standing for this next movie.
Yes.
10
Yeah.
minutes. I blame the French
Oh,
because I think they have nothing better to do than just stand up and clap for movies the entire
do
time.
they still throw flowers at these? Like, if you're not getting a flower bouquet tossed at you during a 6-minute standing O, is it really that special?
I don't know.
I
they
think
do
that's
that.
You know what I
only
mean? Like,
stage
are
performers.
we
I think
still
that's
throwing
at, like,
flowers?
like Broadway or opera?
Do you throw like vegetables, tomatoes?
if it's bad.
Well, if it's Harrison's final one, right? Are they throwing him something?
No, I don't think people brought flowers into a
I don't think it's
2-hour
his final movie.
screening and throw them at him. They could.
Saying.
But I
Here's
think
an
they're thinking
article.
more of like when people
Just saying.
visit the Queen.
Here's an article on AP News.
Yeah.
By Jake Coyle. Posted an hour ago.
Wow.
Damn, Jake Quayle on the finger on
What
the
makes a standing ovation last 22 minutes at Cannes? Canis.
Canis.
Sorry. Gotta get that right. The Canis Film Festival is on, which means the stopwatches are out. Nowhere
Stopwatches are
Nowhere are the length of standing ovations at High Waters premieres more carefully recorded and parsed than at Cannes.
Wow.
Canis.
Did a movie garner a triumphant 8-minute standing ovation, or did the audience stand for a mere 4 or 5 minutes? How has such an unlikely metric come to reverberate around the world within minutes of a premiere? And why is everyone standing for so long? Doesn't anyone's hands get tired? Such effusive displays of enthusiasm have come to be a hallmark of the festival, and sometimes a bit of a marketing gimmick for films looking to resonate far from the Croisette? I don't know. If the world's largest and glitziest film festival stands for cinematic excess, its thunderous standing ovations can seem like its greatest overindulgence. No one needs a bathroom break. Less widely understood, though, is how the pageantry of Cannes shapes and distorts standing ovations. When audiences rise after the credits roll in the Grand Theater, they aren't just standing and applauding the movie they just watched. And there's a bunch of, I guess the article ends there. Maybe I gotta, I gotta subscribe. Sorry.
22
Gotta
minutes
subscribe.
is a whole Dave episode. You know what I mean? Like, there's
Yeah.
a full
It
television.
really
That's an
is.
episode of Seinfeld,
They-
Family Guy.
Nobody's
You know?
doing that.
It's one of those things where like should we just as America start putting the kibosh on standing O? Should we stop giving people this?
No, you got to have the standing O. It's just a certain time limit.
Because here's what I'm going to say, guys.
9 minutes was ultimately the call for Flowers of the Killer. Flowers of the Clear. I thought it was Killers of the Flower Moon. It's Flowers of the Killer Moon?
Your guess is as good as mine. I've only seen it in headlines. a
Oh,
couple
shit,
times.
my
I'm
bad.
excited for it. It's
I got that wrong there. My
DiCaprio,
bad.
but I don't know anything about it.
The
It's not
longest
Diego Hooper.
ovation on record belongs to Guillermo del Toro's Pan's Labyrinth, which scored a 22-minute.
Not that good a movie.
Enough time to watch an
That's the
episode of Seinfeld
stupidest-
without the ads. This guy's right on, right there with me.
Are you writing this as you talk?
Michael Moore's Fahrenheit 9/11, on its way to winning the Palme d'Or at the 2004 festival, was applauded for 20 minutes. Jeff Nichols' Mud was cheered on for 18 minutes in 2012. This is ridiculous.
It's not sincere. And this is what I'm going to tell you right now. I think we should start protesting against this. I think we should start not doing standing O's in America anymore.
Like, are you here protesting the writer's strike? Like,
No.
for the writer's strike? No, we're here for the
Protesting
standing ovations.
I'm
But
on
we
the-
agree
I'm
with
on the-
y'all. Good
yeah,
for y'all. Good for
We're
y'all.
here. We're here. We'll support you. You support us. Call Gary
Exactly.
Whitta right now and say, hey,
Scratch
where you
our
at?
back. We'll scratch yours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Here's why I say we do away with this. I don't like getting pressured into the standing O. It happens all the time. I went to a Broadway show when I was in New York. Saw Jessica Chastain in A Doll's House. Had no idea what A Doll's House is going to be about. Spoilers, boring as shit.
Oh.
She was great. Everyone was great as an actor. But the thing was like 2 hours long, no intermission. A lot of old people. Tim, so many cell phones went off.
Mhm.
So many
Really?
fucking cell phones went off. It was like, it's just like eating dinner with your parents.
All
You're
of
like,
the jitterbug cell phones you
yeah,
get for
oh
old
my
people?
God, so many cell phones went off. It's just an unnerving environment to be in.
God, I used to
And-
sling so many jitterbug cell phones at Best Buy, Georgetown, Texas.
But I feel like people, I didn't particularly enjoy the play. I enjoyed I enjoyed the performances. I enjoyed the staging of it, but the play itself is very, very old. I think it was written like turn of the century. They modernized it just a little bit, but not for me. I mainly saw it because I wanted to watch Jessica Chastain act in real life, and it was every bit as great as I thought it was going to be. Was it worth the standing O? I was on the fence about it. I was going to be like, it's great. Let's get the fuck out of here, right? Because I got to go. I'm hungry. But all the old people, one by one, they didn't know where the fuck they were. They were confused. They thought they were a goddamn Yankee game. They're like, oh, what's going on? They all stood up. Now I'm the one asshole Jessica Chastain can see
Looking right
not
at you.
standing up during the standing O. I got to stand up.
Such a Curb Your Enthusiasm. Yeah, I noticed you weren't standing for the standing up.
Oh, my God.
I had to go.
It's a
enough,
long
you
play.
know?
Yeah, my legs didn't. They hurt, whatever. But if I'm being 100% honest, I don't know that I wanted to stand up for the standing O on that one. I did it as a matter of courtesy to everyone. That's how it always is with live shows, by the way. Every musical that I've ever watched, anything always gets a standing O. I'm like, if everything gets a standing O, Tim, what is the point of the standing O?
You know what?
Now it's dumb.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? Kind of like shifting gears, but not really. Still staying in the same sort of stratosphere. The State of the Union. When everybody stands up and claps behind the president.
Yeah.
After like.
You have the
know,
one guy behind him
everything
that's like
said.
not even paying attention.
Here's one cool thing I did, and then like obviously either side is like pissed off about it, but the other side's like they stand up for every single thing said. That's what it kind of reminds me of.
It's what it is.
We're having to sort of fake this to show that we are super backing it.
I love lots of things.
Where was Fast 10s?
I love Fast 10. was
I
great,
tried.
right? I loved The Wolf of Wall Street. That might be one of my favorite Scorsese movies to ever come out. Far and away is best, especially in that specific like 5-year span of movies that he made. Like nothing even fucking close to that film came out.
Yeah, didn't win the big
It's a
award.
good one though.
Nothing close came out.
Oh, okay.
But even that movie, which I have watched more than any Martin Scorsese movie ever on planes. Totally inappropriate on a plane. I respect that, but for
Yeah.
whatever fucking
Shouldn't
reason,
be watching
United.
that one on
I watched
United.
it on a plane one time.
United, you're going to put it on. I'm going to
Yeah.
watch it, right? It says right beforehand, hey, just be aware there's maybe some people around you. I look. No kids.
You look to
Whatever.
your side, you're like, you're going to learn tonight, kids.
You're going to learn a lot about insider trading. But even that movie, I'm staying up for a minute on that. I see Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm not staying up 22 minutes for that. At that point, you're just doing it because you're worried that other people are going to shame you for not standing up longer for Harrison Ford, for Han frickin' Solo.
So you think it's like a social kind of
I think it's a social
experiment,
contract thing.
Yeah.
Where you see Han Solo, I'm going to stand. And then Tim and I get competitive. How long is it going to go? I'm older, but I'm lower to the ground. So I can stand longer than Tim can. Because he's got the wind shear.
It's less
factor.
noticeable for you.
Inside a theater. It's the fucking wind factor.
It's like
You know what I mean?
playing
You don't want to be the asshole that didn't clap for Harrison fucking Ford, right?
Yeah. What's up, Mike?
It's like playing catch with your friend, and both of you want to say, "Hey, I'm done," but you don't want to be the one to say, "Hey, I'm done."
Yeah.
And so you just keep throwing, and then eventually you just give up.
Your
It's like,
arm is.
Is Tim gonna sit down?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna keep standing there. Okay.
I'm a sitter, dude. I sit down way too early and I try to set the tone. I want to show my respect. I want to be there for the claps. If there's cameras around, pictures, cool, I'll be there. I'm going to sit down. I don't got time for this
If
shit.
I'm not moved
Same
to
thing at a
stand,
church.
then it's not worth the standing up. You know what I mean? I need to be moved to stand.
You're
and
going to
clap.
tell me, Michael, you're sitting in a Broadway theater. Jessica Chastain is 5 feet away from you. She can see in the sparkle in your eyes. And you weren't moved. You're not going to stand up.
I
for
would say,
Chastain?
Jessica, I don't know who you are.
Yeah, I was about to say, can we bring up images of different actresses? I don't know if Mike can name who Jessica
this is
If it's
great
Chastain is.
idea.
LeBron James beating the scoring record, I'm up.
Kevin.
I'm
Mike,
clapping.
fuck you.
Kevin.
I don't believe you for 1 second. Like, I love that you're coming here all tough guy energy. I've seen you standing O when someone gave you a blueberry muffin at a Starbucks, and you're
Yeah.
just like so
So
impressed.
full of shit. I can tell
What's
you
your
right
favorite
now,
meal? How you doing?
I can tell you that Barrett was Jessica Chastain, and you fucking gave him the same go for fear that maybe I was right. Maybe I was- Kevin, do me a favor. Bring up. Can you do me without having there be names or words? Can you bring up a picture of Bryce Dallas Howard, Jessica Chastain,
That's funny,
and
I was-
Amy Adams?
I was about to do that exact thing.
And let's
call.
see how
Yeah,
many
but
of
I
these
know
Mike
those
can
other
get right.
two girls. I know those two other girls.
Yeah, but we also have the fact that
So
The screen we're looking at is only 72 inches. It's not 190
that's not
inches.
72. It's smaller than my screen in my bedroom.
No, it's not.
65.
we got the
It's
smaller
fine.
ones. We got the smaller ones. We did it.
What size is the TV in your room?
75.
Uh,
And I sit 3 feet away from it.
Yeah, Mike's
I'm
inside the
immersed.
TV.
Is what it's called. I'm immersed.
I had to kind of let Mike down yesterday. I felt bad doing
You
it.
told me.
Felt bad doing it.
I thought you were going to step up. I was really excited.
Mike hit me up and was like, let's hit the range, man. Let's hit some balls.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, totally down, man. I'm on a walk right now. I'll tell you when I get back. I got back, and I just made the mistake of getting a little horizontal.
Went a little down.
And I was like, oh, Mike, it's mostly the drive, honestly.
Yeah, I know. I get it.
It was mostly getting in my car and then doing the 25-minute drive to come down here that I was like, Mike, I'll go to Spices if you want, but I don't know if I can hit balls. I'm horizontal, bro. And he was like, I understand. I'm going to go hit some balls, but thank you for the offer.
Got a new rule in life. If you're feeling like you don't want to get, unmotivated, don't get horizontal.
Horizontal,
You know
so
what I mean?
bad.
If you get home and you got stuff to do, don't you dare sit down. Because the moment you get horizontal, it's over. It's right.
The problem is that
it's
like
over.
like my room is my living space.
Mm-hmm.
So like
You need like
my
yoga
bed is like
mat.
my couch when I sit down, and sometimes I turn on Tears of the Kingdom and I get a little horizontal. It's like, oh man.
What was it? I was streaming, right? And so my Switch pops up with everybody on there. I get Andy's text. I'm like, all right, dope. And I'm sitting there, I'm playing. And then I see Andy pop up and says Legend of Zelda. And I go, okay, well, let's see what Andy's about to do here.
I mean, as a general rule, if I have to do anything physical, I don't go home. Because the second I'm home, like if it's a workout that I got to go to, or someone wants to go for a walk or something else, if I cross through my threshold, my domicile, and I hear the quiet, and it's like and then there's a bed there or something, I'm not leaving. The
Little
second my
white-
shoes come
little
off,
white noise.
it takes all the willpower I possibly have to not cancel on you jabronis for that.
Yeah, for me, it's like it's the belts. And like that, once I get the accoutrements off, all the little extra shit, I'm like, I don't want to go out again. But if shoes, I can deal with whatever. I might not. Yeah, I might slip into my like free runs, just some like quick and easy ones.
Yeah.
I love that your free runs are like in 1950s when guys would come home in suits and they go, I'm going to slip into something more comfortable, and they come down in a different suit.
Yeah.
That's the Tim's free run.
They're just not wearing the jacket. They still have the button up and
I mean,
everything.
I told you, I've said this before, but like, it is not a lie. I literally have a pajama bomber jacket.
I love that
My
about
like
you.
home, like I'm just chilling. I have a bomber jacket. It's
Is
fucking
that,
dope.
so what do you wear when you're chilling? Let's talk about like you get home and you're probably like me. I immediately strip off of everything and I change into something different.
How much more could you strip down?
I know. Well, you know what I do is I go basketball shorts, no underwear. The sign of me getting comfortable, no underwear. That's how you know.
So we talked about
that's
this.
horrifying to find
The
out, by
moment that
way.
I take off my underwear, it's over. I wear underwear, we're going out. You know what I mean? If I'm at home, it's basketball shorts, no underwear.
You're free balling the whole time.
Yeah, free balling all day. That's how you should be.
I don't know, man.
You're telling me you're just wearing underwear all the time, bro?
Bro,
Yes.
Like,
Get
you're
loose,
insane.
bro. Let them loose, dude.
I'm with Mike on this one.
No, man.
Thank you, Nick.
I'm with Mike
Get
on this one.
loose a little
If I'm
bit.
at home, I'm wearing some big sweatpants, nothing else.
I don't
Because here's the
believe
thing.
that.
That's how
I'm
you
not
gotta
washing
go.
my basketball shorts every night.
I'm not washing mine every night.
That's gross,
What are you-
bro. That's
Come on,
gross.
Those are your jam
Yeah,
jams.
the balls are touching that all the time.
Yeah. And the
Well,
ca-
so,
and-
like,
and the
let's not
canis.
pretend
what
you're
am I
not
doing? I'm not
farting
getting
a whole
active. I'm
bunch.
just sitting on the couch.
No,
Yeah,
but you're
fart.
you're
Y'all are
accumulating. You're
wild.
farting. You're fucking.
Hey, I'll be real. Like, I don't know about y'all. I got way more butt juice than I want to have at any given moment.
Yeah.
Like I'm a
Get the swamp
underwear,
butt.
and I mean, it just
Got a
happens.
swamp butt?
Like I just feel like there's sweat down there to the point that I'm like, yeah, no, it's
Wow.
I'm an underwear
You're
boy
sweating that
through
much?
and through. I mean, no, but I
Oh,
sweat enough that
No,
I'm
no,
like,
I'm not sweating that much.
I
No.
can't be letting my pants and shorts get
Yeah,
that shit.
the moment if I get home, when I get home, it's shorts are off, underwear's off, basketball PJs are on. That's it.
Guys got it.
And that means I'm in full relax mode.
Is that what you do though, Nick? Or are you just saying this guy's
No,
got
I have my pajamas, of course, that are hanging on a hook with my socks.
With his socks? Yeah, he's got the hook socks. Yeah.
And,
forgot
Nick,
the
can we
hook.
get a picture of the hook soon?
I
you know,
forgot the
guys,
hook.
Next podcast, I'll take a picture.
I forgot
of
the
that, and
hook
I'll
was
show
a
you what's on the hook,
variable
right?
in this.
The hook has 2 hoodies on it, a pair of jeans that I wore over the weekend that are my nice jeans, but I didn't wear them fully. So I'm going to wear them again next weekend.
I
Cool.
love, I
Boom.
love the idea that D was like, you guys moved in this place, it's all set up. D's like, now this is your hook. This is
It's
where you put your
okay.
socks.
It's like a row of hooks that are against like inside my closet. I'll take a picture of it. There's like maybe 8 hooks, and I use every single one of them. But one of them is specifically for my sleepy socks.
yeah.
But the sleepy socks, I take them off, and the sleepy socks sometimes just go by the bed. And then at 5 o'clock in the morning when I'm cold, I get out and I put them on, and then I get back into bed and back to bed. It's really good. That's how I roll.
And so we did a pajama party last week, and
We did.
The reason that Mike wore the shark outfit was because he doesn't wear pajamas. He sleeps naked.
Correct. Yeah.
And
yeah.
so you were like, I'm going to wear a shark costume
Yeah, I
instead.
thought it'd be fun for the content. That's right. Yeah, for sure.
So wait, so sleeping naked versus sleeping in your, like,
Underwear, shorts, t-shirt, socks.
yeah.
Flannels, onesies.
What are you rocking?
Where are we at here?
I sleep.
I just do my MeUndies with a t-shirt. I'm too.
No socks.
I generate too much oil, and I'm just like an oily dude, and then that like makes me have to replace the padding, that goes underneath all the sheets.
Yeah.
That makes me have to replace that sooner than I'd want.
Mm-hmm.
So once I started wearing t-shirts, like I realized this when I was growing up because my mom was like, "I'm so glad you started wearing t-shirts when you're asleep because I have to replace that fucking thing way less now because you're just oily at night." You know?
Yeah. That's what I mean. I'm the same way. I'm t-shirt, sweatpants, and then socks.
No socks
if it's
for
super
me.
cold.
No socks.
But I've actually lately been just kind of the socks kind of go on and off depending on how cold.
The weighted blanket is more than enough for like if it's cold at night. Like I have the sheet with the comforter and then the weighted blanket on top, and I'm totally fine.
I can't have the weighted blanket. It's too claustrophobic for D.
Oh.
So it's good. What happens is I used to have this big blanket that was like a quilt that we used to be on the bed, and then it got folded onto me, and then it got folded a third time onto me, and I was like, what is going on here? And D would just push it away because she didn't like it anywhere near her. Like the weight of it was just too much for her.
Oh.
Whereas I like, for a person who's weirdly claustrophobic in real life, I like to be I like the weight to be like a hug.
Yeah.
That's hugging me.
It's supposed to feel that way.
That's what
It's like when you
Or
buy
if
the
I blood
dog
pressure.
jackets to make so the dogs feel like they're the thunder blankets or whatever.
Mhm.
So they're not scared by storms. They feel like they're constantly being held.
I love that. I love that for both of us. Before we get into everyone else's sleeping habits, why don't we take a word from our sponsors?
Shout out to RTX for sponsoring this episode. If you're looking to spend an amazing summer weekend in Austin, Texas, the RTX convention is the perfect excuse. RTX is a gaming, comedy, animation, and podcast festival that Rooster Teeth is throwing in Austin, Texas at the convention center from July 7th through 9th. And rumor has it, a couple kind of funny people whose names may or may not rhyme with Mo Trike Like and Loey Moel are planning to head down to party as well. RTX has so much to offer over the 3 days with activities like a free paranormal themed escape room, achievement hunter, mini golf, VTubing with Ruby characters, and over a dozen live shows with guests like Dungeons and Daddies and Therapy Gecko. There are also evening events each night, from parties to a comedy showcase, an evening rave, and everything in between that can be found in Austin. Buying Ultra and Platinum badges will get you the highest perks, but there's also a solid deal right now where people that purchase weekend and daily badges get another badge for 50% off. Go to rtxaustin.com to select badges and to find additional information. Don't miss out on one of the biggest parties in Austin this summer. Shout out to Rocket Money for sponsoring this episode. We all love gobbling up content, and we have an understanding of what subscriptions we use. Or do we? Do you know how much your subscriptions really cost? Most Americans think that they spend around $80 a month on subscriptions when the actual total is closer to $200 plus. You could be wasting hundreds of dollars each and every month on subscriptions that you don't even know about. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors spending and it helps you lower your bills all in one place. Rocket Money has saved some of us here at KindaFunny a ton of money, and it can help you too. Rocket Money also helps you manage all your finance in one place and automatically can help you categorize your expenses so you can easily track your budget in real time. So stop throwing your money away. You can cancel unwanted subscriptions and manage your expenses the easy way by going to rocketmoney.com/kindafunny. That's rocketmoney.com/kindafunny. rocketmoney.com/kindafunny.
And we're back.
Yeah, I feel pretty aligned with Andy here, where I switch into a sleep shirt, just like an old MeUndies shirt, essentially. I have like a MeUndies set that's like my, I can't wear these anymore, and what I do is I cut a little slit in the bottom so I know this is a sleeping one. This is a go to work normal black shirt. And then, so yeah, just black t-shirt, and then MeUndies, either lounge pants or the lounge shorts, depending on the temperature. And then always socks. Like I can't not have socks. Well, here's the thing: sleeping, can't sleep with socks. Those need to be off.
Okay.
But I don't understand people that are just barefoot walking around the world. Like that's just one of those things that grosses me the fuck out. And so yeah, I always need to be wearing at least, I need a layer on me, top to bottom, somewhat. And sleeping, yeah, need the shirt, need the undies.
See, it's interesting you say that. I have the socks, that I will wear inside my house, but I also have the slippers that the socks go into.
Mhm.
So around my house, I wear the house slippers. They
Yeah.
never go outside. Sometimes, occasionally, I get bold. I run to the trash
Shoe
chute,
step
throw them
or
in there,
whatever.
come back
Yeah.
in. But my hallways are carpeted, so I feel like it's fine. But the socks, I have a weird thing where I'm like, I don't like getting into my bed with dirty stuff, like dirty
Oh,
feet or
yeah.
dirty socks
Yeah.
stuff. So I have to make sure the socks are kind of clean before they get into the bed.
Of course.
Very, very important for me. But again, that's why I can wear the socks multiple times over the week because they're just basically they're just warmth for my
That's
feet.
what it is. That's what the shorts are
Exactly.
to me at home.
I don't understand people that would wear. Don't you feel constrained with the underwear?
Feel
'Cause after
so
a while, it gives me
constrained.
like a stomach.
Me
ache.
Well,
undies.
you're not getting
Veins.
like choked out while you're sleeping because of the
You don't have
t-shirt.
to
Me
get up.
undies,
You don't have to get up
man.
and kiki.
They're me undies. They got the ball and dick pouch. Like
Microbial
everything's
fabric.
super
B&D
soft
pouch?
and nice in there.
Get the B&D patch.
I will say I'm impressed with the MeUndies. I know this isn't an ad, but like for real, those are solid underwear.
No, they haven't sponsored us in a long
I'm
time, so
impressed.
we're not going to give them any free ads.
All right, fuck
Let-
MeUndies.
I fucking
No, I'm
love
kidding.
it.
I
Let me
love
tell
it.
you,
I love it.
I've been wearing the same T-shirts to sleep for the last like maybe 15 years, and I can't quit them. It's these old like back in the day when I would just buy blank, no graphic tees from American Apparel.
Mm-hmm.
And these are some tri-blend American Apparels I straight up
Soft.
bought like in legitimately like 2009, 2010. And I still wear them to this day because they are so soft at night and they haven't lost like any of the like they're not like old t-shirts that, yeah, they're still I don't know, they feel like they're brand new. I've been wearing them forever. Are they way less flattering on me now? Absolutely. Yeah. They were like smalls back in the day.
Yeah.
And, you know, back in the day, I always used to do the small T-shirts because, oh, man, trim and fit, flat stomach, big titties. Like, I looked
Old,
good
big
back
old
then,
player.
bro. Not so much anymore.
Well, you know what? The trends have changed, though. We're back in the 90s now, so oversized stuff is,
Back to baggy.
that's legit.
You're 100%.
Get your Jinko jeans out.
Oh, remember those?
Those were incredible.
Did you ever have a pair of those?
I watched one of my buddies shove a 2-liter in the back pocket. It was
You
pretty
could shove a
incredible.
whole fucking 7-Eleven.
I
in
saw the
back pocket
video
of
of the
a
guy
Jinko
shoving
jeans.
the Super Nintendo in his back
Yeah,
pocket. Tim, you missed a hilarious moment, by the way, when we were doing our Elden Ring stream. Because Mike was like, why didn't you get in the tent with me? Nick, why didn't you get in the... We had a tent, you know? Nick was like, I don't know. I don't want to get in there. There was, you know, there's a lot of, you know, it's just a small cramped area. And plus, like, you know, I didn't want, you know, what if it was like stinky or something? And then somebody mentioned the fact that like maybe it was stinky. And then
The tent was a little stinky.
tent was a little stinky, Mike, or
Somebody
Nick
had
says.
stinky socks.
And then immediately the blaming just gets shot out from Mike. He goes,
There was-
that was probably Roger. I think Roger had some stinky socks.
Yeah.
It was so fast.
I have brand new socks, Tim. I bought brand new socks last week.
But that
I know
doesn't mean
what
you
they-
need to throw anyone else under
I'm
the
just
bus.
throwing it out,
Damn,
Tim.
the bus came by and Mike took Roger and just threw it
was
underneath the bus.
so-
Now, mind you, Mike was also the person who admitted to busting ass for the first time in the Let's Play.
In the
Remember
laugh,
that?
in the laugh.
Yeah.
Mike just
that's
there's a
right.
quiet moment. Mike just starts laughing. He goes, "I farted."
No, I think Nick asked.
long day.
Yeah, Nick was like,
a long day.
he was like, "Oh, really?" Because I farted. That's why that may have been the spill you spelled. But like, witnessing Mike do that, like I needed David Attenborough talking to me about how the cheetah approaches its prey. Like it was masterful stuff of like, here is this being in the wild, and a slight little like, you know, maybe we're throwing out like, hey, there's something wrong here, and then just this blame immediately. Well, it's probably Roger's socks. It was truly the stuff of legend.
We cannot, by the way, we cannot confirm that it was. We do not think it was Roger's socks. I want everyone to know that right now. We don't know what the source.
No,
of the
we
smell
definitely
was.
don't.
On stream after during the movie, you guys said it was definitely his socks. And I laughed.
That's because we're assholes and we were joking around. We don't know what the source of the spell was. Who knows what it was? There was 3 men in a tent. Lord knows
Three
what.
men in a tent.
Lord knows what was causing the smell
It was
factor.
It was magnificent.
It was
man.
such a ridiculous moment.
Oh man.
You put that on the highlight reel of like, here's LeBron's chase down block in the finals. Here's Mike shifting of blame to Roger.
Poor Roger, and yet Roger still likes us. I wonder why. I'll never understand.
I don't know if he does. He likes me.
I mean, he likes me too.
You know, I think he likes Nick a lot more than you would expect. And I only say that just you guys don't
Because
interact
he's a
that
despicable
much,
human being.
right? Whereas like then there's Blessing. I'm not jury's out on Blessing, but I feel like both of them haven't interacted with you
talk
much.
about music.
But there is like Roger, like I see a spark in that kid's eyes, and I'm like, oh, he sees Nick.
He loves
sees
spending
Nick for who
time
Nick
with you,
is.
Nick. I know it for
The charismatic king, Nick Scarpino. Whereas Blessing sees right through that shit.
First off,
No, I disagree with that because anytime I see Blessing on content with Nick, you know what it reminds me of? Vin Diesel and Helen Mirren. He is all smiles. He is this is a guy that I used to watch a whole lot of his content back in the day, and he is still as funny to me as he was as the day I discovered him because I don't have to hang out with him all the time.
okay, that last part.
Okay,
He
I
doesn't,
still
know,
think-
just-
all
I
of that
still
is
think
great.
that's
doesn't
bad.
think that last part. Roger and Blessing are awesome. We get along great. Mostly because, yes, our interactions are very limited. Okay? Roger and I work together a little bit more closely than Blessing and I because Roger is a little bit more on the post-production side of things, stuff like that. We pick each other's brains and stuff every once in a while. Blessing and I want to hang out with Blessing more. He's so much firmly on the game side that it's so hard for me to actually do content with him. But I've been meaning to take him out to lunch.
Yeah.
That is one thing I will
Hey,
say.
that's
It's been on my account. Blessing you for watching. It's not. But if you are watching, let's go to lunch. Let's hang out.
No, but
Just wanna get to know.
when y'all do, I honestly anytime I do see it, there is a gleam in Blessing's eye because he laughs so much at like all the dumb shit Nick does and says. And
Yeah.
it's just
that.
like it feels so wholesome to see those interactions because you don't get to see them often.
Fair.
But yeah, Roger, I didn't know Roger really had that affinity for Nick, Mike.
He does, dude.
He loves seeing you. He says he wants to hang out more times.
I want to hang out more with those guys, with Roger too.
He says come over to his desk, hang out.
I come over all the time, and then I'll come over like a fourth time, like too many times. I came over too many times.
Roger looks, hey man, too many
Three times is enough. Fourth time? Because Roger's always here.
That's what
Like,
Roger tells me, like, oh, he just walks on my desk all the time. I'm like, welcome to my first 3 years. Kind of funny, 2 years. Kind of funny.
Your desk had the good snacks. You had the Belvita lunch snacks, the breakfast snacks. I always wanted them. Unfortunately, your desk was always one everyone had to go past.
Yeah.
You know, it was the same. That's how me and Greg became best friends because he sat next to me and he had the Tabasco Cheez-Its.
Mm.
And I was like, can I have some of those? And we used to share bowls of it. And then I started bringing them in because I felt bad for eating all of his. And then we became friends. Drucker sat next to us too. He was like, can I have some of those? And I said, you get your own fucking Tabasco Cheez-Its, Drucker. This is me and Greg's.
Mike, I have a question for you
Yeah.
in line with all this. Seating arrangements, right? This is your first time working in an office with us. So
Yeah.
you weren't there for what we were referring to before, where like there was no ideal seats. There was some worse than others. I do feel bad for Andy because he was just in a very inopportune.
Andy was in the walkways, right? Kevin was in the closet.
Andy was in the
there
booth
was
way.
a lot of things, and yeah,
I was in the
there was
I
about
chose to
stuff.
be in my closet. I miss that closet so much.
Mike, what is your kind of takeaway? I don't care about any of the like things working, not working, whatever. I want to know what Mike Howard's opinion on our seating arrangement is.
It's a great question.
Our seating arrangement is good, not great. The people who have it great are you and Joey because you two talk the most and have the most fun laughter-wise, and it's right behind me, so I'm very jealous because I look at Greg and Blessing who have their headphones on 90% of the day and don't want to laugh and joke around. Mind you, Greg will give you a solid 5 when he walks in, right? Brings in a great opening. He'll make a couple of jokes, but then 95% of the day, headphones on. He don't want to talk to you, right?
Monitor.
And when he is doing that stuff, Mike,
Yeah.
Greg, he's doing it as if he's on content, which is always a treat.
Yeah.
Because it's like we are like
Performing for us.
It's
we're
amazing.
gonna get to talk about this weird interaction later on a show. He's doing this right now for the
yes.
people. Yeah.
Cool G to my left. Me and Cool G have a good time. The best part about my situation right now is I'm close to the door. So I'm like a small dog. Anytime somebody opens it, I'm like, oh, I get a chance to say hello to someone. And I love that.
You're the first person I see when I walk through the door. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Exactly. And
Your
I love
your
that.
eyes light up when they see me. It warms my heart. I go, any anxiety I had about coming into here immediately melted away. Then I lock eyes with Roger. Anxiety comes right.
It's always Roger.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing, because like Mike is close to the door. Roger, it's like his eyes, like when the door's there, he's fucking ready and he's ready to say hi to whoever it is. Like he's playing games, like he's taking bets himself on who's gonna be the next person walking in the door. Like he'll say hi to him before it's even me, and he's like, I fucking won that
Well,
one.
I think that's a part of his initiative to start the day better, because he's told me like wanting to be more positive in the morning so that it kind of like rolls throughout the rest of the day and the afternoon. Because like I am more than anyone, I'm probably the most sourpuss in the morning because I am so awful in the mornings. And I take that Adderall, I'm feeling great. Oh man, I talk to the whole world, man.
Take that Addy.
Take that Addy. But like
Addy.
before I have any of that stimulation, like if I don't have to talk to anybody for the next week, totally fine. Like that's how I am in the morning, right? But Roger said like, no, like every morning I'm trying to like, this is a while back that like, hey, good morning, you know, this and that. And then a couple times he did that to Blessing, and Blessing was like, it's way too early for that shit, man. like bring that down. It's way too early to be acting that way right now.
That's so fucking perfect. I love that.
But I totally understand where Roger's coming from, like trying to manifest that happiness and that like energy in the morning. And that's why every day when I used to like work at Best Buy or, you know, all the stuff where like I just dreaded the whole fucking day. I would start the day off with Rush's Spirit of the Radio. Invisible airways, and I'm just like, it boosts my mood, and I'm just like suddenly happy, and I feel like that's what Roger's been doing the past several months of how can I start off the day good and continue that throughout the rest of it, you know?
I think it's so funny because I think everyone feels it. My one thing is like if I'm feeling a little bit down in the morning and I come in and everyone's already got that. Everyone's already like 120%. It's so hard to walk into that sometimes because I'm like, I just kind of want to go to my desk, check email, let the caffeine kick in. And I definitely want to join the party, but I'm just not quite there yet. It's tough.
It helps when it's people you love because Lord knows I had so many stories I would tell all my friends back in the day when I worked at my first studio. And we had a coworker there who, bless his heart, such a nice, kind dude. But, like, I fucking hated walking in. I'm a pissy in the morning. And I'm walking in and, oh, hello, good morning. How's it going? Like, oh, shut the fuck up, man. Like, I just don't want to talk to you right now. And this guy was, like, always trying to be, like, you know, I might, like, drop my backpack too loudly and be like, oh, what happened there? You okay there? Like, shut the fuck up, dude. I don't want to fucking talk to you right now.
Stewart.
I have Stewart.
You're trying to be the catalyst for change,
You're
bro.
close
That
on
guy.
you're close on the name right there.
Stu out there.
And
giving
like,
his
oh
all.
my god, the thing is, like, me and my other superior, Michael Hutchison, who he and I felt very similarly about this same coworker. Where like, anytime somebody would walk in, like, oh, hello, good morning, I'd get a little like, it wasn't Slack, but I forgot what we used back in the day, Jira or some shit, and I get a little message from him and be like, oh, hello, good morning. Like, oh, this fucking guy, like, just shut up, dude. And this guy stunk, man. Oh my god, this guy. We're about to talk about
I
him.
like this guy. I liked this guy until he became Stinky.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
then I don't like
Stinky.
I'm vibing.
You gotta wash
Stinky-
those dry wick Best Buy shirts, bro.
Stinky never showered. No. This is on my first game studio, not Best Buy.
Okay. I thought it was the Best Buy guy.
Stinky never showered, but covered himself in cologne.
Smart.
Great.
Covered himself in fucking cologne.
Those
And
and cologne.
sat on a fucking exercise ball. And anytime he would sit down, the waft of air and bad stink would go throughout.
I don't like
And it would like cover. And he'd walk by you and, oh, we're working on that. Look at that. I was just like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, this guy was like the bane of my existence. All my friends had to hear me rant about what we'll call stew.
Stu.
I talked about stew all of the fucking time. And I'd go back home to visit friends and be like, dude, what's happening with stew? Like, oh my God, dude, let me tell you. Like, I had nonstop stories about
Did
it.
you report it? Did you ask HR to step in and be like, hey, let's have a conversation with this guy about hygiene?
Very similar to KindaFunny, not really a whole like
Whole lot of HR?
HR. Yeah,
Not
like
really
it's a very, very
really an
small
opportunity for
studio
HR.
that like,
Yeah.
you know, everybody kind of knew that's just
That
how
was
he
just
is.
how it's gonna be.
He's the type of guy that we'd go get Korean food and he'd be like, oh, I'll take the beef bulgogi. Like he would like do the super enunciated like accent stuff. And it's like, you could just call it bulgogi. Like they're fine. Like you don't have to like act like you grew up in Korea. Like it's
Right.
totally fine. Like he was the guy that was always, he was so extra about everything. He walked around with about 74 keys on his fucking keychain. Sling, sling, hitting his fucking thigh everywhere he walked. And like every time my coworker Bob would be like, how many fucking houses and cars do you have? Like we all kind of complained about Stu.
Stu.
Oh my God,
Tough.
Stu.
I remember I had my buddy had a roommate. I'm not gonna say his name, but
Heart of gold, though, Stu. Love
had
it.
a roommate at his place when we were like in college in Irvine, and I'll never forget this guy. He never, like, he always wore flip flops and or no shoes, and he always sat at his desk. And this was back when like everyone was playing, like, would not stop playing World of Warcraft. So the carpet underneath his desk was black, as was the wall in front of him because he'd put his feet up on the wall.
Oh,
And it was the fucking most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
I made my
Because his
skin crawl.
feet were so fucking disgusting and dirty. And I was like, dude, you have got to talk to that guy. And my friend was like, it's too far gone. We're just literally going to move out. And he did. He left the fucking guy there because he was like, I don't want to have this conversation. I don't want to deal with the wall situation. I'm going to move out and let him get a new roommate in, and they're going to deal with however much that's going to cost to fix. Smart.
Martin
Yeah.
Farton used to do that.
Martin
He
Farton.
would smoke cigs outside on the picnic table, no shoes on.
Sorry,
and
what's
just
the name?
Martin Farton. Martin Farton, my good friend. He used to go outside.
I meant to tweet about this to Nick the other day. Actually, you know, me and Tim were in LA, and out of nowhere, I just thought of. It's funnier that it's not Fartin Martin.
Yeah, it's
it's
Martin
funnier
Fartin.
that it's Martin Fartin.
Martin
Yep.
Farton.
Like, it's funnier
yeah.
that that's a nickname. And I just thought about poor Marty, who has to have this nickname.
Yeah.
Martin Farton would go outside. We'd have it was just a dirt front yard, and he'd sit there and smoke cigs, and he would take his grippers, as the kid in the chat
Yeah.
put, and his feet, and just run them in the sand and just grip sand and dirt and do this, and then immediately walk right back into his house, lay on his bed, put his feet up on the couch,
No.
never thought twice. Martin
I
Farton.
don't like that.
It's just so
Martin Farton.
gross.
Martin Farton, bro. Some people are crusty like that, bro. Some people are like that.
Look at folks.
They're
Public
built
service
different
announcement.
from me. Built
Clean out
different.
your feet. Clean out your butts. Like take showers. Clean stuff. If you're the bottom of your foot is like so soiled and dirty that it's gonna track into your house, you gotta jump. You gotta be jumping in the shower before.
I'll tell you
jump into your
what's
bed.
really kind of changed a lot of stuff is my bidet. Like, I'm constantly worried about my ass being clean, right? Like,
It's a strange feeling knowing that that's a thing, right?
and like,
How clean can it get?
I'll often just
Is it dirty?
sometimes just go do a wipe just in case.
Just, yeah.
Right? Like
security
if you're
wipe,
feeling
yeah.
sweaty or swampy
little
or
security wipe,
oily or
yeah.
whatever, you know. But the bidet
Really?
has made such a change because I often just use it if I'm
For
not.
a little fun.
We'll spruce
Just
it
to
up.
feel something.
Freshen it up.
I'm more so to get some water down there and just kind of like, oh, let me just do
Make
like
sure
an
it's
extra
clean,
clean
yeah.
today. Yeah,
Mm.
feels great.
I'll tell you what. If I'm walking around and I'm thinking I gotta go out and I'm not feeling clean down there, I'll hop in the shower. I'll clean the whole.
I like
I'll
that.
clean the whole area out. The whole front to back, back to front, whatever.
There's something about showering after you've worked out during the day, like a 2 p.m. shower after you've done like a really, really good workout.
Mhm.
There's something about how your body just feels different. I need scientists to look into the chemistry of why you feel so fresh and like alive in that moment. I don't know why it's only the day though. At night, I wish I could feel the same way. Doesn't feel the same way at night.
Oh man,
It's just like there's something about the day. You had like a long kind of workout. Your body, you're feeling the aches. You know, you go in there and you just kind of clean it all out. It feels
but you're
great.
you're a night shower, aren't you?
I'm a night shower, yeah. But I mean, like if I go to the gym like on the weekend and
Oh yeah.
afterwards, or I go on a long ass walk, it's like all right, I
Oh,
need
yeah.
to
I'll tell you what.
freshen up.
Came home, got home around 11:30 after the stream. Sat down, ate a little something, drank a little water. Was like, come on, go to bed. Went to get into bed and like moved, and I was like, I got a layer of stickiness on me.
Hit the shower. I
Gotta
take a
hit
shower.
Hit the shower.
Gotta
Yeah.
hit the showers.
I
We were
would live
moving
in the
around.
shower if I could. Like
I
I
love
think
the shower.
I think a shower is my happiest place. Like I love sleep. I love laying in bed. I love the shower. And every mornings suck. I'm with Andy. I'm not a morning guy at all. In my older age, unfortunately, I just naturally wake up and it fucking sucks. But there's that moment where I'm in bed.
Is that a Gia thing?
I think
Did she?
Is
did
it the
she,
dog?
no.
Did she change you?
It's G, the dogs, and just life and stress and everything all combined.
Because
I don't know.
Well, I'll just say this: when I was in a serious relationship, I had to kind of like change. Like I just naturally, it wasn't like this big like, oh, I gotta do this.
Yeah.
It just kind of naturally became a thing where like on the weekends, I was waking up at 9:30 and 10 when I eat. I do not do that ever. It's like always noon for me, you know.
Yeah, I'm waking up like 7 a.m. every
Holy
day, like,
shit.
no matter what. It just sucks. Even the weekend.
That's crazy.
It's really
what about
annoying.
what about Tears of the Kingdom, bro?
Oh, trust me. I know. Well, Andy, I've been playing at like 7 a.m. Like,
He's got a different time schedule.
That's
I know.
good.
That's how you know you're an adult, by the
But-
way, when you're productive at 7 a.m.
well, Yeah, I'm laying in bed playing fucking Zelda. But for me, there's like nothing I want to do less than get out of bed in the morning. I love the bed, especially in that morning. I'm like, I would kill for an extra hour or whatever. But the thing I'm about to do is get in the shower. The moment I get in the shower, I'm like, this is the best thing ever. Why was I stressing about getting out of bed? A couple weeks ago, this reminded me, me and all my like middle school friends hung out, like my core boys group. And I fucking love those guys. I see them, I would say a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, not that much anymore, right? So we're like, hey, let's try to make a standing monthly thing that we're going to all hang out. Whoever can make it makes it. Whoever can't. No judgment, no anything. But like every month we're going to do something. And so we're like, fuck yeah, that's great. So we did
What
the
do the
first
past
one.
months look like?
I mean, we've only done 2 now.
Oh,
But,
okay.
like we went to just a restaurant, a Mexican restaurant, and that was it. That was the event.
Dave Buster's
Another
the
time
happiest place on
Another time we went to watch the Mario movie. So, like I went with them to watch that, watch the movie, got a couple drinks after. It was great, just so nice, and it's just having that. And the thing is, we have like 8 people, I'd say, in the group. We're cycling every month. Someone else has to plan the event. But we're like, yo, we're not talking about planning an event. We're talking about like choose a
Spot,
restaurant.
that's where we're going.
This is where we're going. Who can make it? Cool. So the first one we did, it only ended up being 3 of us out of the 8, but that's okay. That's the rules. That's how we set this shit. We were sitting there talking, and we're just like, sex comes up because like we're friends and you talk about sex.
Your life.
And so we're talking about all this stuff, and we're kind of like, hey, like how often are you having sex these days? And for some single people, like you're out there, like what's going on? Give me your
They're in
sex
the
stories.
streets.
And like we're talking about it, and I feel like the overwhelming consensus through us and like the people we even know that we were talking about there, it's like all of us are having sex a lot less than we have. The people in long-term relationships are having sex a lot less than we used to in our relationships because most of us are now, coming up on a decade together. Having said that, every time we do, all of us are like, why don't we do this more? It's the best fucking thing ever.
The sex?
But then when you have to choose between, hey, we could sleep or we could do that shit, we choose sleep a lot. You know what I mean? But it's like every time we don't, it's like, yo, that was fucking worth it. And I was like, us hanging out as friends, it's the same thing. I fucking dread this every time. But then we're all hanging out. I'm like, this is the best thing ever. So yeah,
It's like when I go out, like
totally.
usually when I'd say I'm the most public busybody person when I'm out of town. If we go to a convention, let's go everywhere. I'm super down. When I'm at home, it's really tough to do the conventions that are here in San Francisco because like I could just stay home.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it's so hard to cross that mental barrier. It's like such a force field. I imagine myself being like I'm Obi-Wan on the other side of the red sort of barrier as Darth Maul is about to kill my
Great reference.
my teacher Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon Jinn.
Mike's like Qui-Gon waiting there, waiting to get killed. No, Mike's like Darth Maul.
I'm
It's
wait-
more like water.
if I don't leave the house by 8:30 to 9 a.m. every Saturday, I'm uptight. My whole day is ruined. I have a rule now. That's happened for like the past 7 months.
You have a rule? Wait,
Where if I don't leave the house by 9 o'clock in the morning,
you have a
at
rule that
time,
you're pissed off? Or
I'm just uptight. It's
Oh,
just like
okay.
I want to get out there, I want to go, and the later I wait, I feel like I'm just wasting time, right? You know what I mean? I hate it. If I'm not up in the morning and going, then I'm pissed off and the day's ruined.
How much sleep are you getting though? Because like,
I'm going to bed around 10 to 11, so I'm getting about 6 to 7.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes 8.
You're not going to bed around 10 to 11. I
does.
simply
It's
don't
annoying.
believe it.
It's
no,
annoying.
Really?
once
Yeah.
he's
It's
Roger's
not the
changed my life.
Discord
I'm in a relationship with Roger and his girlfriend.
and the gym.
We're in the gym. We're there 6:30 a.m. every morning.
Have you not? Do you know this? So
I know
this is a
that.
big- this is a big. This changed my life that he started doing this.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to the gym with him.
Because Nick doesn't get to play Call of Duty at
I
night.
get it.
I don't play Call of Duty anymore,
Yeah,
but it's
positive
had this
fact.
weird. Well, it's a negative effect that I don't get to see the jabronis and hang out with the jabronis in the Discord anymore. But the positive effect is that at 10 o'clock I start to wind down, and I've been like trying to be in bed by like 11:30, which is like low key started to resonate in a very positive way in my life. I just have way more energy for everything else during the day. But now it's the unfortunate thing is I'm doing the shit you're doing, where like Saturday comes around. And it's not 7 o'clock. I can't. That's savage. Savages get up at 7 o'clock on a Saturday. But 9 o'clock comes around. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Which is great because my wife wakes up still like clockwork at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. So we actually have a full day together. The downside is when I go to do comedy at 10 o'clock at night, I'm falling asleep in my soup. But you got, it's all a balance.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
So when you're saying like averaging 11 p.m. maybe for sleep nowadays?
I'm trying to be like lights out, wound down by 11, so that I'm like falling asleep by 11:30, no later than midnight. If I'm looking at the clock and it's 12:05, I'm disappointed with myself. Because usually it takes me about an hour, 30 minutes to an hour in bed to kind of like shut my brain off. The caffeine has to stop by 5 now. I'm not doing any more caffeine beyond that. No more Diet Cokes at night, none of that stuff. Because, you flash forward a year ago, Mike's hit me up at 8:30, Jabroni. In an hour, we're gonna jump on Warzone. And then Mike's a half hour late. So it's like 10 o'clock. I'm on my 3rd Diet Coke of the day. I've got goldfish crackers, and we're chasing that win till 2 o'clock in the morning. We get the win.
What a time.
Man,
the win.
it was
What
a
a
time.
time.
Yeah, but
The
I'm
best of times.
fried for the next day.
Yep.
And so now it's like, it's just got to be about the
I mean,
balance.
the whole last week, Tears of the Kingdom was
it
dictating
changes
my
the
life.
game.
Yeah, like I just found myself so fucking exhausted, and it didn't help that we had 2 very like energy consuming streams back to back, like stuff that like required your all, and I'm yelling like crazy, and that shit wipes me. Like if I notice that I'm gonna be yelling a lot on a stream, I know that I'm gonna be fucked for whatever else I have to do that day.
It takes it out of you.
And that happens a lot whenever we stream, and it's like, I have Gamescast after. Well, that's fine. I don't, the Gamescast is, you're a little bit more serious
Chiller.
and stuff. Yeah, but what if we are all doing a big co-op stream and I'm yelling a lot and just kind of playing into that character, I know that it's gonna wipe me, and I feel like my head starts to hurt. I get like a headache afterwards, and that happened to me on some other long stream that we did. I forget which one it was. Oh, maybe Greg's stream. I think it was Greg's stream that a lot of yelling took place, and we're like going crazy, and I was like, fuck, I'm just like wiped right now. And the those 2 streams in going together with long nights of Tears of the Kingdom, and it's like 1:55. I'm like, put the fucking game down, dude. Put the game down. Go to sleep. I go to sleep, and I'm just exhausted, and I feel like shit. And then this whole weekend was me catching up on all of that. This whole weekend, I woke up like at 10:30 in the morning, fucking ate some food, got on like Premiere to do some stuff, took a nap, went back to bed, woke up like at 2 something. Like it was like that was me this whole weekend. And I am so glad I caught up on sleep, or else I'd feel like garbage right now.
So outside of like last week with Tears of the Kingdom stuff, like what is your average go to bed time?
I want to
And how much sleep are you getting?
I want to be asleep by 1 in the morning. If I'm like,
And is that, I feel like that's a new development because I feel like your time used to be closer to like 3 or 4.
on the weekdays, not really, no. Like on the weekend, before Tears of the Kingdom, on the weekend, I'll try to do like 2 or 3 in the morning. On the weekdays, I try to like, if I'm on my phone past 1 a.m., I should not be doing that.
Mhm.
During COVID, when I knew we got to wake up later and I didn't have to like drive to work and get like, actually, do my hair and all that shit, that was like a lot later. That was when we're playing Warzone late at night. It's like, I don't mind going to bed later because I know that I don't have to be on camera until a lot later, Now that a lot of things have certainly changed there. So I try to do the 1 a.m. thing is like hard cutoff.
Yeah.
There's tons of times that I'm still asleep by like midnight or stuff like that, and I feel really happy about those times. But aside from that, 1 a.m. I try to make the absolute like turn this shit off, put it away. But Tears of the Kingdom has ruined that the last week.
Yeah, if I'm up at midnight, I know I'm gonna have a bad day because Roger's gonna text me at 6 a.m. and I'm gonna be out the door at 6:25, and I'm gonna hate life. And so yeah, I mean, my body's also slowing down now at about 9, getting in bed by 10, and now the question is like, am I on Workaholics and Hulu to fall asleep, or am I on TikTok? Because if I have TikTok in my hand, that means I'm up and active still, and it's gonna go for hours, right? But if I turn on Workaholics, that means, it's bedtime, and I'm going to bed. So that's how my night goes.
But how much sleep do you guys need? Because I need at least 8 hours every night, if not more. I would prefer 9 hours of sleep every night if I
6.
could.
6 minimum.
6 and you feel great. You feel like you're energized for the next day.
6,
I'd
I'm like,
say
okay, I'm
6
gonna
minimum.
make it. Yeah, 6 is my minimum.
I say 6 is the minimum for me as well. Like I obviously try to get more whenever I can, but I know I'm gonna have a bad time. There are just some nights where I just cannot fall asleep, and that happens quite a bit. But it's as soon as I started taking meds and like I started seeking help to like help me out at night, because a lot of it was me going to catastrophic thoughts until 3-4 in the morning, where I just couldn't sleep, and I have a million different things I'm worried about for no good reason at all. Like none of this is really, these aren't like tangible things to worry about. It's usually just me making up shit or scenarios. And once I started taking Lexapro, that has helped me out a lot at night, between like putting my phone away, getting to sleep, and then falling asleep. The time has like shortened so much between that. It used to be fucking hours, and lately that has helped me out a lot. But I still have the nights maybe once or twice every month where I'll tell Kevin about it, because I always see him kind of first in the morning, where I wake up at 4:30 in the morning, cannot fall back asleep, and I'm just up. And I slept like 2.5 hours. My body thinks it's a nap. That happens like more often than I'd like still.
That's wild.
And it sucks every time, but it's happening less and less frequently, luckily.
I wake up at 4 in the morning sometimes, but it's mostly when I'm trying to like actually lose weight, because I'll do like a fasting window, and then I'll go to bed and I'm like, I'm totally fine, and I wake up ravenously hungry at 4 o'clock in the morning and not be able to sleep until I get up and have to go make eggs or something shit like that. And my wife fucking hates it. She's like, can you just make the eggs before you go to bed, so she doesn't have to hear an hour before she has to get up, ting, 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 crack,
Like
crack,
Warzone.
all that stuff. God, it's the worst, man. I blame myself.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of it is like, not that I'm doing any fasting regimen or anything
No,
like
your
that,
brain just won't.
but I'll wake up like at 4:30, energized, and then I'll start to get hungry around 5:30 or 6, and then I'll eat fucking Belvita things like, please just fall asleep. I'm trying to cure this. I can't fall asleep now that I'm super hungry.
Do you think it's intrusive thoughts that stay in your brain, or is it just your body's clock is a little bit messed up? Because I'll notice about myself, if like we have a family above us, and if they wake me, if the kid's running around and wakes me up, and I am anxious about something that's happening either at work or my personal life, my brain will go to that first, and then I'll go, well, now I'm just up for the next 2 hours until my day's wrecked.
That's been my problem. I mean, it's been my problem for such a long time that it's not even a problem anymore. It is a
reality.
major problem. It's just reality. It's like, I don't think I've had a good night's sleep. Like, I honestly can't remember the last time I had actual good night's sleep. I'll take what I can get. Like, how many hours do I need? I think I need like 9-10 hours to be like fucking happy, and I don't get that. I don't even get close. Like, I'm waking up at least twice a night, every single night.
That's wild.
Every single
of thoughts, just because of thoughts?
It's just so much shit. But yeah, I mean, mainly it's the thoughts. There's always something to stress about.
Or I wake up to go pee, and
so
then I'm
hard
up.
But yeah, I wake up to go pee, and then I go pee, which I'm like, I remember growing up and being like, my mom and dad would have to wake up and go pee all the time. I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with you guys? Go pee before you sleep. Like, here I am. I pee my little heart out before I go to sleep, and then I still have to pee somehow.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
I know.
That's
it's
me right
absolutely
now.
wild, man.
I
Oh,
gotta
how
pee a
the
lot.
mighty have fallen. Everyone made fun of me for years. Nick pees too much. Nick pees
We're all
too much.
peers now. Look at us.
Yeah.
We're all old.
But when I wake up, like whatever time, 2-3 in the morning to go pee, it's like, then I get back in bed. I can't go back to sleep. I'm whatever scheduling thing I have to worry about, or whatever like freaking sponsorship or phone calls I have to make, or dealing with just people.
They delayed John Wick 3.
Straight up, dude. Like, legitimately. Like, this is so stupid, but it's the type of thing of like, they delayed, like, I see, oh, John Wick 3 is delayed, and I saw that like right before I went to sleep, or even hours before I went to sleep. But like,
Make the mistake of looking at your phone.
and I saw it, and you know what? I don't look at my phone. I'm like, I'm trying to not do this.
Yeah.
But then I start seeing the calendar in my head. I'm like, well, if we have to move that, then this in review has to move, and then this has to happen. Oh, fuck, but the sponsor for this.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to stop this shit. But I don't know how. I've been really trying, and I just can't, man.
A random thought hits your head about something in the future, and the next thing you know, this is something that legitimately happened with me last week. A random thought leads to other different thoughts of like scheduling in the future, and suddenly I'm on United booking flights like at 3:45 in the morning. Like, what are you doing, dude?
Why?
Do this later. Why are you
Dude,
doing this right now?
I sympathize with the guys so much. Lately, thankfully, over the last like month or two, I don't know why, but more often than not, I've been able to hit, for whatever reason, just wrap up my thoughts around 10 o'clock and hit 11 and just kind of like, now I treat it like if I've cleared the board, where I'm like, there's nothing I have to stress out about really right now. I think of it as a treat that I get to go to bed at 11. I'm like literally last night I was like running through the Rolodex of what should I stress out about today? Should it be this, and everything checked negative, and I was like, oh, I get to go to bed at 11. Maybe I'll actually fall asleep and sleep for like 9 hours. And I did. It was great. 11 o'clock to like 8:15ish. It was great. Really, really nice.
Sometimes you wake up more.
Not to rub it in
sluggish.
your guys' face.
No, just the worst thing for me, like I think the thing that it's unavoidable. I really can't get away from it. Is the dread of looking at Slack in the morning. Where for me,
It's tough.
I swear to God, 3 out of 5 days, I wake up to some Slack that is like
Are we getting canceled?
just ruined my day.
Yeah.
Like already ruined my day, whatever it is. And I'm just like, I'm responsible for this.
It's tough.
I have to solve this problem. And it's just like, there's literally a moment before it's the Schrodinger's box thing, right? With the Schrodinger's cat. Yeah. Right?
Yes. Is the cat in the
The
box?
cat's in the box. Or Schrodinger's cat. Yeah.
Heard Mike laughing about that.
Jack in the Box. Yeah.
But it's that thing where for me it's like I don't know what's actually worse, looking at the Slack and seeing what is the problem, or not knowing what the problem is but knowing there is one.
There is one.
And just sitting there and like my phone's there and I'm literally like, I'm not looking at you, I'm not looking at you. And like more than often than not I might as well just look, because then I can at least fucking be positive and start dealing with it.
Oh, the joys of running your own business.
It is what it is, you know.
It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. But hey, I'm hoping you guys are listening to this tonight. I hope it's the end of your day. I hope it's 10 o'clock and you're winding down. And I want you to know there's always something to worry about. I hope you stay up tonight and don't get a good night's sleep. JK, I love you all. Thank you guys so much for joining us on the Kinda Funny podcast. Remember, guys, if you want to be patrons over on patreon.com/kindafunny, we really appreciate it. Just like Nathan Lamoth and James Hastings and Casey Andrew. You get all sorts of cool stuff. You get to be in the live chat with us right now, like Matthew Hidalgo is, and Murders with Merton, the horror film podcast, who's always there. And I think, is that something, what's going on there? And then I'm like, no, it's just his podcast.
The Hagglers and Joshy G and my dog Nick.
Cooper
and
Fuqua.
Cooper.
See everyone in there. Thank you guys all for joining us. Please continue. Think about supporting us. If not, if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment in the comment below and tell us how many hours of sleep do you think you need.
Let me know if you sleep without underwear. No. Yeah, let me know
Yeah.
what you
Are you
look
sleeping
like when you get home.
in
Are
the
you taking
bu-
off the underwear? That's what I need to know.
Yeah.
You know what? That's great.
Do you wear underwear?
Here's what I want to know.
Here,
Are
in
you
your
underwear? Are you pro underwear at night or against the underwear at night? Because
That's
this
what I
really is
need
the
to
thing
know.
that's dividing our nation right
Yes.
now. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, it's been our pleasure to serve you.
Chris does great show, but no standing O from me.